I could really go for some hot peppers right now. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with Big City Greens, episode 16. My reaction to it, at least. Yeah, we're here with another episode, and we're just continuing to go with the flow. We've been doing one episode, and it's kind of worked out. With Fridays, it's easier too, just to do one episode because we also have two shows on Fridays, and a lot of the times I also record one of the movie reactions on Fridays. I'm not this week, but it still makes it easier. And it's just best for my schedule today anyway. So, another episode of Big City Greens, and just another case of me telling you I have no idea what's going to happen. It's hard to do, and I've talked about this before, but it's hard to do these pre-thoughts for a show like this that's mostly episodic. Like, sometimes it has a little bit of continuity, such as with Chip returning, but it's mostly, like, extremely episodic. Each episode is kind of its own new thing. And that's fine. Excuse me. It works for this show. But at the same time, it's hard to talk about going into it. Like, when I'm coming out of it, when I'm doing the afterthoughts, it's like, okay, fine. That's better because I have something to reference. Like, even in the cold opens, it's like, what am I supposed to say besides just referencing something from the past episode, like with the chili peppers and all? It's just a case of I don't know what to do or say. And so now we're going into episode 16. And yeah, I don't have any context of anything to really go on here. Now, there's 30 episodes in this season. And we are currently on episode 16, like I said. Now, I had talked about maybe taking another break, because we took a break before, and obviously if we take another break, it won't be as long as this last one was. But I was talking about in the past taking another small break in order to just, keep myself fresh on this, make sure I don't have too much trouble staying away from any possible burnouts and all. And I think the right point to do this at would be like around episode 20. Because then we'll have about 10 episodes left when we come back. And we'll be good for that. Excuse me. It's kind of the big problem with doing a lot of these shows that have just a lot of episodes each season. And the same can go for Adventure Time and all as well. It's like there's just so much to get through. And the difference here is that there's 30 episodes that are a full-length 22-minute episode here. With Adventure Time, they're 11-minute episodes. It's basically the equivalent of one of Big City Greens, what do you call it? Oh my god, my mind is blanking. Segments. It's the equivalent of one of Big City Greens' segments, but there's 2 segments per episode for this, while with Adventure Time, the segment is the episode, and it's half length. So when I react to like 3 to 5 or so Adventure Time episodes at a time, like, that's easier to do than like 3 to 5 of these. And again, with also having another show on Fridays and usually doing a movie on Fridays too, it's tricky to get to that. Excuse me. That's why we've been doing one episode each week since coming back. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And if we can't get to any multi-episoders before we go on break again, maybe we'll do it when we come back. We'll see. But yeah, for now, we're just going to see what this episode has in store for us and hope for the best. Not much else to get into here. Just wanted to let you know about my thoughts and plans with all of that regarding taking the break. So yeah, we have like a few episodes left before we do so no worries there. And we'll see what we can do in regards to it. In the meantime, let us get on with this episode of Big City Greens and see what it has in store for us. Let me just cut in here for a moment to remind you of all the awesome content we have on the channel. A plethora of awesome series reactions every day, Monday through Friday, with 2 on Friday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday, as well as Let's Plays. We alternate between Horizon Baldur's Gate 3 every day, and we have Anno Mutationum on Saturdays. We also redirect all reactions on the channel. Please follow the link in the description to get to today's reaction. It's due to copyright, you get the idea. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out and allows me to get out more awesome content for all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get on with the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, this is a good set. This is a good episode, a good set of segments. I don't feel like there's a huge amount to talk about here. Like, it's a weird feeling, but Cricket was entirely in the right on both of these. Like, with the first segment with the watermelon and everything, it's like, yeah, he got distracted by the cameras being on him and everything, but to be fair, that's more of the fault of Maria Medina and the news crew. That's not on Cricket. Because the entire time, like, he was trying to, you know, promote his father and help him get the attention he deserved. And even during this entire time, he's, like, trying to tell them about that. And even after he goes a little off the plan, unintentionally, his first instinct is, we gotta make this right. We gotta go to the news studio and, mind you, commit a couple crimes, but get that watermelon scene. And it's like, Cricket was just in the right this entire episode. So it's like, what? I'm not used to that. Also, them moving that watermelon is insane, because that thing would weigh like a shit ton. Watermelons are pretty heavy, as they are, and I'm talking like normal size. But when you get watermelons that big, also my camera died. What the fuck? Hold on a second. But when you get watermelons that big, or I guess pretty much anything that big, yeah, it's going to be heavy. Are we coming back? Maybe, no. Give me a second here. Okay, I think we're back. Sorry about that. That was weird. It's like it was working the entire time during the reaction and everything, and then all of a sudden I come back to here and it just stops. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it would be insanely heavy. Like, that thing would probably be a couple 100 pounds, honestly. Like, it would be insanely heavy with the size that it is. But they managed to get it there somehow, and they did manage to get the focus back on that. It all worked out. And then we have the second segment where it's all about standing up to bullies and whatnot. They're being cyberbullied by this group on an online game they're playing, and then the same group finds and starts harassing them in real life. And it's just these nerdy losers who are just trying to, get some sense of control and power by becoming bullies. Probably because they were bullied, I'm sure. But they use their tech to harass them and everything. They're like hacking into Remy's phone and making him order rideshare while threatening, while the threat of like his rideshare rating going down is there, stuff like that. And yeah, it's pretty wild to see how this all happens. But excuse me. At the same time, it's like they're not like hurting anyone, but they're still bullies and they're still causing problems. And it's a very childlike level of bullying. It's not like physical, like attacking or anything, or doing anything to really mentally or emotionally scar them. It's just like, oh, we're gonna hack your video games and shit. But for kids, that's still gonna leave a big impact because they're kids. And so, yeah, Cricket chooses to never back down, to always stand up to them, which is, again, just like with the watermelon thing, the right thing to do. He never falters on that. He's always determined to stand up to them and to not let the bullies win. And in the end, they come up with a deal. They have this duel, and the good guys win because they stand up to the bullies. And yeah, it's a good lesson for the kids watching this series. It's entertaining, and it's even a good lesson to adults to learn and think about as well. Because believe it or not, adults are still bullied. It just takes different forms. A lot of times, even with like their bosses at work and stuff, or just actually other people around them and stuff. And unfortunately, with adults, it can tend to actually even get much worse because it can turn into abuse and just some really horrific shit. But we're not going to get into all of that here. The point is, this was a good episode. Not too much else to talk about. It was pretty simple. Not a lot of thought to have for it. It was like pretty straightforward. But in the end, tell me your thoughts down in the comments below. What did you think of these two segments? And just remember to always ask yourself, what would Wheezy do? Those are the important questions. So, thank you so much as always for tuning in. I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.